Yes, Sachin, we can start the
Start.
topic. Yes.
Okay. Very good evening to all. My special thanks to Ma'am Anuja for being here with us today for this the very basic fundamental of mediation. Why do we require mediation? Myself, Sachin Jain. I'm a senior mediator trainer from Punjab and Haryana High Court. Welcome to EMW third class series on mediation education. So this is our third class. We have already had 2 sessions, and this will be a third session on mediation education. See, now I would like to invite Shubham Pradhan to brief the class on ground rules. Shubham.
Thank you, sir. A very warm good evening to everyone who have joined in. Last week, the sad news of demise of Sri D.S. Parikh, Senior Counsel and Eminent Senior Mediator, has saddened us, and I believe that his death has caused great vacuum in the field of mediation. Our sincere condolences to the bereaved family. May his soul rest in eternal peace. I'm Shubham Pradhan, a student of first year BLLB at JCC Law College, University of Calcutta, and I'm the student moderator for today's session. I'm thankful to the EMW team for arranging this wonderful enlightening session on mediation. Today we have gathered in another beautiful Saturday evening for the 4th EMW class on conflict and dispute, understanding the misunderstanding. Doubtless to say, I'm sure that the knowledge shared by our mediators will be thought-provoking and insightful as always. I'd like to extend my gratitude to Mr. Sachin Jain sir and Ms. Anuja Saxena ma'am, who have taken out the time from their busy schedule to come and teach us. Furthermore, I'm extremely grateful to Push ma'am and Thankachan sir for giving us this opportunity and the entire team of EMW, who have brought such proficient dignitaries and legal professionals to ensure that we gain the best of mediation and ADR. Moving forward, I'm sure every one of us is well aware of the ground rules, but still for our convenience, I shall repeat. I'd request all participants to keep their microphones turned off throughout the session, just to avoid any kind of disturbance during the learning process. Do keep your cameras on as it generates respect and attentiveness. Certificates will be issued at the end of the classroom series based on minimum attendance of 80%. And in case of any doubts, you can put it in the chat box or wait till the mediators and teachers are open for the Q&A session. Since the strength of the classroom is big, the time of the class may not be enough to answer each question. So you can email me your questions, which I'll surely forward it to the mediators and teachers. So we are looking forward to a very enlightening session. So without any further delay, over to you, sir.
Well, friends, today we have a class on conflict and dispute, understanding the misunderstanding. Let me tell you, everybody invariably knows how to start a dispute, but there are very few who know how to end a dispute. And today we have one of the finest teachers on mediation, whom I know from last 10 years. Any introduction will be short of words for a person like her, a very gentle human being, a wonderful teacher, a lawyer, a mediator, a trainer. If I'll say A to Z, even that will be short for her work for mediation in India. Madam Anuja Saxena is an advocate, senior mediator, and I'll not be wrong if I'll say that she's the most successful mediator in the country with more than 4,000 settled cases to her credit. That's a commendable job on her part. She's a master trainer from MCPC. She has conducted several training programs pan-India. And the list of her students is right from judges, high court judges, down to professionals, lawyers, students, everybody. She's a legal advisor and standing counsel rehabilitation, Council of India, Ministry of Social Justice, Government of India. She's also an advisor in Delhi Dispute Resolution Society, Government of NCT Delhi, a legal expert, a legal sign language dictionary, Institute of Sign Language, Research and Training Center, New Delhi. There was a project introduced, Meri Awaaz Suno, for the training of sign language interpreter as mediator. First of its kind initiative in India by the author. I say there are very few, their words will be less, but there are a lot more to her credit, what she has done for mediation in the last 15 years. We are lucky to have her here for a very basic fundamental topic. Because after this only, we feel that we require mediation. We need to open our mind and work on resolutions. So not taking much of time, I would request Madam Anuja to take over the floor, and I'll be refreshing my memories again and again, because there's people whom you love to listen, and she's probably one of the best in the country on conflict. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sachin. Thanks for such appreciating words you are doing for me. I don't think I deserve such a lengthy and extended introduction. I'm a simple human being and I am a learner. Always I introduce myself as a learner. And I all believe in learning because I feel life is a learning process. Thank you very much, Pushpa, and thank you very much, Thangchanji, for giving me this opportunity to interact with legal scholars. And all are pursuing their law. Am I right?
Yes,
all the
they're
participants are from
all law students, right from first year to final year.
So I really appreciate Pushp and Thangchanji for giving this opportunity to all the students to learn about justice delivery system, the different style, I mean the alternate dispute resolution at their doorstep by conducting these classes for them at their doorstep. No doubt, it's a very wonderful, innovative on your part. And I think we will enjoy this session in a way we will understand the conflict. I always say understanding the misunderstanding. When I started this topic, I use this word, understanding the misunderstanding. If you are competent enough to understand the misunderstanding of any person, you can better resolve that dispute. This is my thought about this particular topic. So I don't think you have any conflict pertaining to the topic conflict today. Yes? Yes or no? Do you have any conflict with the topic of today's topic? I mean, conflict. Are you clear that we are dealing with conflict today itself? Yes. So there's no change in the topic. We are dealing with the conflict. So I welcome all of you. And I really wish you all a very happy Basant Panchami. And as per Hindu mythology, we celebrate birthday of goddess Saraswati. Isn't it? Thangchanji, am I right? We celebrate the birthday of goddess Saraswati. And
yes,
Saraswati
yes,
to Swar. Saraswati goddess, Saraswati to Swar. And Swar mean word. And word to word. W-O-R-D to W-O-R-L-D. A single swar is important in our life. And that may cause a conflict. Right? So we pray Goddess Saraswati to grant wisdom, knowledge, and stand to us to assist our justice delivery system. Right? So much of pendency is creating so much chaos in the life of the persons. And that chaos has started from a single words. Okay? How you are delivering a word. I remember one of my matter where I simply use a word, please be honest. And that single word had created so much chaos. I mean, my parties, they were having, ma'am, you do not trust upon us. I said, no, I simply said in general way, I just use the word, please be honest in sharing your offer and counter offer. And that moment, a single word created so much of chaos. So we learn from our mistakes. So I always believe that we are all learner. So no one is teacher, no one is master trainer, all are learner. And life is a learning process, I believe. So before starting this topic, conflict and understanding misunderstanding, I would like to share one beautiful story with all of you. And then I will start I'm sharing my screen. My screen is visible. My screen is visible. I'm audible properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Perfectly audible, ma'am. Perfectly.
Okay. So now screen is visible clearly?
Yes.
So conflict and dispute, understanding the misunderstanding, right? So a beautiful story, what I am sharing here with. Yes. young lady was waiting for her flight in the boarding room of a big airport. As she would need to wait many hours, she decided to buy a book to spend her time. She also bought a packet of cookies. She sat down in an armchair in the VIP room of the airport to rest and read in peace. Beside the armchair where the packet of cookies lay, a man sat down in the next seat, opened his magazine, and started reading. When she took out the first cookie, the man took one also. She felt irritated, but said nothing. She just thought, what now? If I was in the mood, I would punch him for daring. For each cookie she took, the man took one too. This was infuriating her, but she didn't want to cause a scene. When only one cookie remained, she thought, oh, what this abusive man do now? Then the man, taking the last cookie, divided it into half, giving her one half. That was too much. She was much too angry now. In a huff, she took her book, her things, and stormed to the boarding place. When she sat down in her seat inside the plane, she looked into her purse to take her eyeglasses, and to her surprise, her packet of cookies was there, untouched, unopened. She felt so ashamed, she realized that she was wrong. She had forgotten that her cookies were kept in her purse. The man had divided his cookie with her without feeling anger or bitter. While she had been very angry, thinking that she was dividing her cookies with him, and now there was no chance to explain herself nor to apologize. So the moral of the story, there are 4 things that you cannot recover. The stone after throw, the occasion after the loss, the time after it's gone, and the word after it's said. So how do you feel this story? Yes? Shubham, you are only visible on my screen, so I will ask only one question from you. So can you see any conflict here?
Yes, ma'am. There was misunderstanding.
This was misunderstanding, right? This
Yes,
was
ma'am.
misunderstanding pertaining to his own
Cookie.
observation, his own understanding. That was misunderstanding. His understanding was the misunderstanding of thinking that these are my cookies and he is sharing my cookies, right? And there are 2 types of conflict were going together, isn't it? What is conflict? It disagreement. And what disagreement? I'm seeing 2 types of conflict were going in this story. Can you tell me? Because I'm not knowing the name of all the participants, so it's very difficult to call anyone. But I want this session should be very interactive because the topic is very interesting. I won't say this topic is boring. And this is a sole base of mediation, why we are doing mediation and other area even. So anyone can say what type of conflict? I'm seeing 2 types of conflict we are going in this story. See, anyways, yeah, anyone want to speak? There were 2 conflict. I'm just sharing. There were 2 conflict you can identify. One conflict, which was interpersonal conflict. One was intrapersonal conflict.
Ma'am, someone has written in the chat box also, you can, to this effect. Shubham, you can please pick up the comment and share it with ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Twinkle says a misunderstanding with the man and one with herself.
Yes, that's great. Twinkle, what's her name?
And Twinkle.
Twinkle, nice Twinkle, very nice. She was having internal conflict. Why I'm not stopping him? Why I'm giving all the liberty to him, right? But she was not collecting the courage to say no to him, right? And one conflict between her and that guy who was sitting over there, but she was not feeling competent enough to stop him. So she was preparing herself to stop him, and then she was having the conflict with interpersonal and intrapersonal conflict. She was having in the state of complete disagreement, right? She was in the state of disagreement of the act and conduct of the passenger sitting next to her. So once we are understanding the conflict, we are addressing the conflict, we are resolving the conflict, right? So what is the first thing? First, to understand the conflict, whether this is a state of conflict, is there any disagreement, difference of opinion, different perception, different attitude. And in Hindi, we say drashtikon. What is your drashtikon? And this itself consists the kon, that is angle. From which angle we are perceiving the thing. And her angle was, these are my cookies. And she has no right over my cookies. Why he is sharing without my offer to him for my cookies, right? So although it's a small thing, but if the thing will go, I mean, he has gone, now she has no chance even to apologize. And then we say the word after it's said. So when I started this session, I said, word is very important. Goddess Saraswati for swar, and swar to word to word, this word will make, and swar to sargam. If you are having the positive words, you can convert a thing into rhythm. And if you are having the bad words or negative words, you can just verse the thing. So this is how you are dealing with the conflict. So what is a conflict? A conflict is a state of disagreement or disharmony between person upon ideas. In other words, opposition between two minds. Opposition between two minds. First thing, it's a state of disagreement, right? What is it? What is conflict? Is a state of disagreement. So both the parties are in the state of disagreement. And then it creates disharmony, difference of opinion, their different perception, and different ideas of two minds in dealing with the situation, right? So conflict is a unique situation. It's a unique situation of position arising out of a different thought process. My thought process differ from you. Somebody would say the situation is going nice. Somebody say, why this conflict is a small topic, why we should learn it? What is that important in that topic? And there's nothing in this topic. Somebody said it's a very complicated topic. No, everyone is right. The point is this is how we interpret the situation and what is our state of mind. And that all depend upon our upbringing, our community atmosphere, our, handling the things. All this is differ from person to person. My understanding is different for a situation. Your understanding is different for a situation. Both are correct. Bottle half filled or half empty. Both are correct. Bottle half filled or half empty. Somebody would say half filled, somebody would say half empty. Conflict is it's a state of mind. First thing, what is a conflict? Conflict is a state of mind. Second, conflict is a unique situation or position arising out of different thought process, and then to views of an individual who is seeing a situation differently by keeping his interest on the prime. This is the most important. Why I have different perception, different attitude, different understanding pertaining to particular situation, because I am considering that particular situation and position from my interest, for my interest. Because for a human being, his interest is prime. Isn't it? Got it? देखिए conflict में कोई conflict नहीं आनी चाहिए. All are clear? I want conflict should be clear. So the my interest is prime. That is why I am just I'm just calculating the thing. I'm just analyzing thing. I'm interpreting the thing in my interest only. For me, interest of other is immaterial when I am in a situation of conflict. So types of conflict definition is clear. This is what I have in my book as in my article also. So conflict is a state of disagreement or disharmony. Conflict is a unique situation. First is a state of mind. Second is unique situation. And third is the own perception and interpretation by an individual considering his interest on his prime side. Then types of conflict. As in this story, we discussed there were two types of conflict. One, interpersonal with oneself. Second, intrapersonal, right? Intrapersonal with oneself, interpersonal within two individuals. When I am having conflict, like I'm having two opportunities for job. I have to what? I have to make the balance. Which one is good for me? Suppose in one opportunity, I'm having 10 to 5 duty hours and I'm getting a lakh rupees, right? In another job, duty hours are 10 to 8. Amount of salary is 1,30,000. Now, this is intrapersonal conflict in my mind. Which side I should go? One side, time is less, amount is less. One side, time is more, amount is more. What to choose? Intrapersonal conflict. Interpersonal conflict within two individuals. Family matter, property matter, workplace matter, between two employees matter, between husband and wife matter, between son and father matter. Interpersonal. Once they are having, they want to put their interest on the prime side. Right? When they want to put their interest on prime side, interpersonal between two individuals. Right? So if you see for a conflict, there's need of two individuals, no. A conflict may go inside us as well. We are dealing with ourselves as well, not only with others. We are dealing ourselves as well, right? So interpersonal and interpersonal. Then intra-group conflict with the individual of a group. Like in a company, there are a group and group are having difference of opinion but pertaining to particular thing, right? Then they are having intra-group conflict with an individual of a group. Group is same, they are having different thought process. See, for example, if in BJP, if two leaders or two ministers are having different, mindset for the dealing a thing, this will call within a group conflict. A conflict may arise. No, I want this. It should go like this. For a policy matter, it may be, or in a company because of the, they want to do something which is they are having the different mindset for the C. Then it will in a group, and then to intra-group. In an organization, there may be two groups and they're fighting for a same thing. Suppose one is proposing we have to purchase a laptop of HP. Another group saying no, HP laptop is not good. We have to go for this Sony laptop. That is better option. So such type of thing. So in intrapersonal, interpersonal, intragroup or intergroup. So once it is within a group, it is intragroup. If it is in two groups, this is intragroup, intergroup. Clear, right? Types of conflict. So we learn about the 4 types of conflict: interpersonal, intrapersonal, intergroup, and intergroup. Then if it is conflict, then what is dispute? We learned that conflict is a difference of opinion, disagreement, different perception, different opinion, different mindset. Then what is a dispute? So dispute is a continuous disagreement between two or more persons. See, initial state is a simple disagreement, difference of opinion. But if it will continue, it will convert into a dispute. So a continuous disagreement between two or more persons within or outside organization or even in countries for a comparatively longer period of time than normal according to situation, position, fact, and circumstances are known as the dispute. It has a higher degree of disagreement, because it continues. If we will handle that disagreement at very initial stage, so it will not convert into a dispute, a conflict. And if we will handle the conflict at that stage, it will not convert into a dispute. So the degree is increasing. Disagreement, difference of opinion, problem, conflict, then to dispute. It continuous disagreement may convert into a dispute. Got it? Clear? Eh? It is a higher degree of disagreement. So what is the difference between conflict and dispute? A conflict refers to a broad area of issues. Within this broad area, a specific dispute can arise. Broad areas of issue. See, presume about a tree. All of you have seen the banyan tree. Have you seen? The roots are so spread. Just presume those roots are conflict. Then dispute is a stem. And the litigations are the branches. So intensity of conflict is more, right? Intensity of conflict is more than to a dispute. So therefore, the conflict refers a broad area of issues, consists so many issues. But out of that broad area, a specific stem has come out. And why we are saying that we have to deal this conflict in alternate dispute resolution system, because we have to hit this conflict only. In justice delivery system, present justice delivery system, we are handling with the dispute. See, for example, in matrimonial matter, in mediation, if a lady is saying that this was I have not given my consent to this marriage, my father forced me for this marriage, this sentence is not at all relevant in court scenario, but this simple sentence is very important when we are dealing this matter in mediation, because that is the conflict. Matter may be 125 before you. So although the court may decide 125 matter, the court can decide the dispute, but court cannot resolve the dispute because the root is somewhere else. That is why appeal review revisions are going on. Got it? Got it? That is why appeal review revisions are going on, because courts are dealing with the dispute. That means only a stem part, but the root is inside. A single sentence, मैं इसे पसंद नहीं थी, is irrelevant in court, but very relevant in mediation. And we have to very carefully listen this thing. Active listener, a mediator should be active listener, just because of the reason to understand where is the core of conflict. From where this 125 petition has arrived, from where this stamp has come out. A dispute is manifestation of continuous disagreement. This is a continuous disagreement, while a conflict is a long-term concealed disagreement. You see, this disagreement is visible because it has come out. But what about that disagreement which is concealed, which is inside, which is beneath the soil, which is below the surface, and which is not visible? The intensity of that is more than to dispute. Dispute can be resolved through judicial or other means, whereas conflict cannot be easily resolved. Dispute can be resolved in the sense, okay, the court will decide if it is 125 matter, or it is 498-406 matter, or it may be property suit or partition suit, 25 square yard house, 4 brothers are fighting. The court can divide the 25 square yard house into 4 parts, because law is there, procedure is there. But what about the conflict? Conflict will remain as such, because we are working for restoration of relationship as well. We are not only working for to decide the thing, because now the justice delivery system style has changed. We want adversarial as well as friendly system. If you want adversarial outcome, we are ready to decide it. If you want to complete resolve it, then ADRs are there. So in ADR people, in mediation particularly, because we are talking about mediation, a mediator is just going with the conflict. Where is the conflict? From where this matter has come out. Dispute can be easily resolved by dealing with the specific issue at hand and coming to a final determination. It is not the same with conflict, because conflict, the roots of that root is very important, and we have to deal with those. Conflicts are more serious and sensitive in nature and very volatile in terms of resolution. More serious and sensitive, because that particular misunderstanding is important. One of the matter was referred to mediation. I just wanted to share with all of you that girl filed a partition suit against her maternal uncle. Mother was passed away and she filed partition against her maternal uncle. And when matter was reached mediation, she said, I want my share in the property. The maternal uncle, Mama, he said, I am ready to pay you the amount, but why are you after this house? Because I am staying in this house, this is my dwelling house. In single session, that girl said, ma'am, I don't want anything. I want to teach a lesson to my mama, because in one of the public gathering, she said, मुझे नाचने वाली, कि वो नाचने वाली है. I am using this in particularly in Hindi because I want to show you the, the gist of this all thing and the important of that sentence, कि मुझे नाचने वाली कहाँ. So I said, I called a single session with Mama. I said, कि कहीं आपने gathering में you deliver this word कि वो नाचने वाली. Then he said, no, ma'am, how can I can see her कि she is नाचने वाली? It was simply because she is a dancer. She is a classical dancer. There was a program. Somebody told me there's a program. I'm going to attend that. Will you come with me? I said, no, but my niece is नाचने वाली है वहाँ पर. That means she's going to perform over there. So I said this thing. And she interpreted in that way because she overheard this thing, कि वो नाचने वाली है. See the value of the words, the importance of a single sentence, the importance of a single word. And she overheard and she understood that इसने मुझे नाचने वाली कहा, and entire thing was, and matter was resolved very easily the moment he said, no ma'am, I respect my deceased sister. She was my most beloved sister of mine. She's like my daughter. How can I use this word for her? So such type of things. So the conflict is very volatile in terms of resolution and very serious if we are not dealing with the conflict. So dispute we can decide, but conflict we have to resolve. Unless we will resolve the conflict, dispute cannot be over. They will go for appeal, review, revision. Neither decree holder is happy nor judgment debtor is happy. Both are not happy because they are not satisfied. Conflict is still there. So conflict is natural. Respect people, attack problem. We have to respect the people. We are having our own mindset. We are having our own psychology. We are having our own surrounding. We are having our own understanding and interpretation. So it's like, it's easier to perceive error than to find the truth. If I would seek a dispute like an iceberg, and what is the quality of an iceberg? 1/10 part above the water surface, 9/10 part below the water surface, isn't it? So what we are dealing in the code is only the 1/10 part. That is the dispute, which is above the water surface, because that is visible only. 9/10 part, which is below the water surface, that we have to measure the depth of that thing. And you all are well aware, all the young scholars must have seen this Titanic movie. The cause of that Titanic was simply that the captain was not aware that the depth of this iceberg is so deep. So we have to measure that depth in mediation. So that is the conflict. So 1/10 part is the dispute level. 9/10 part is below the water surface. And for the same, we have to first handle the dispute. The position of the parties have acquired their position, and that position is creating their dispute because they are in continuous disagreement. Understand? They are in complete disagreement since long, continuity in disagreement. So therefore, they have acquired a position. And once they have acquired the position, that position is only visible. So in code, we are dealing with that position only. 9/10 part, we have to hit this problem level, which is a water surface. Then we hit the underlying interest of the party. Then we hit the common interest of the party. And then we have to facilitate them to generate the option. So in the last, there is root of that conflict, and in the last, there is a root, ROUT, root of that resolving of that conflict. How to resolve that conflict, isn't it? Am I clear? Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
I don't think it is boring.
No, ma'am.
I'm putting my words in your mouth. So don't do this. Otherwise, it will create conflict again. So like this family dispute, see, the small misunderstanding between daughter and mother may create a conflict. Daughter is asking for a scooty. Mother is scared about her safety. She is not agreeing. A conflict. The wife and husband, wife is not happy with husband because he's not giving enough time to her, not spending enough time with her. So therefore, conflict. Labor management, a small difference of opinion pertaining to the timing of the duty hours, a conflict may arise. Property dispute between two people or between landlord and tenant on any small issue, the conflict may arise, but taking the shape of property dispute, taking the shape of labor management dispute, taking the shape of family dispute, right? And eviction from house, landlord tenant, taking the shape of dispute in the court. Neighbor dispute on a small parking issue, a small parking issue, dog biting issues, neighbor disputes. So it's a very good petition. A small conflict on any issue may convert into a big dispute if not handled properly. And a dispute may convert into long litigation if not handled properly. Got it? Clear hai sabko? What is the difference between dispute and litigation? We learned about the conflict and dispute. It's a small disagreement then to a Concealed disagreement is conflict. Continuous disagreement is dispute, and continuous dispute will convert into a litigation. A matter may have 5, 2, 6, 7, 8. In one matter, I still remember I handled 30 matters between two parties. 30 matters. And for matrimonial, I always say it's a combo pay. एक आता है, एक के साथ 10 free होते हैं. Every day we are having number of matters, increasing number of matters. So it's a combo pack. If you are receiving one matter, you have to ask how many matters other than this matter is pending between the parties. So a small conflict or an issue may convert into a big dispute if not handled properly. A dispute may convert into long litigation if not handled properly. So be careful how to handle the conflict. It's a very initial stage, when the stage of difference or disagreement. So this is the escalation of conflict. How a conflict escalates. Small differences, it will convert into disagreement. It will convert into a problem between the parties. It will convert into a conflict, then conflict to dispute, dispute to litigation, litigation to war. That means conflict is in between, 3 steps ahead and 3 steps down. If we will handle the conflict, if we could be able to handle the differences, well and good. If we will handle the disagreement, well and good. If we will handle the problem, well and good. If we will handle the conflict, there will be no uproot. I mean, no stem out of that. We'll cut the root. But if we are not dealing with the conflict, the 3 steps will go, and that will be the state of war. Clear? Eh? So conflict escalation can be understood as an intensification of a conflict concerning the observed extent and the mean. The diagram shows how a small difference of opinion can lead to a situation like war. A small difference of opinion can lead to a situation like war if not handled at right time. This is that is at least 7 steps downstairs, war to downstairs, difference. See the difference to war, 7 steps, no? Difference, disagreement, problem, conflict, dispute, litigation, war. Right? So difference to war stage, every stage is important. Every step is important. Even if we could resolve at the state of dispute only, because the matters are referred at the state of dispute, because we are in court and ex mediation system. Although some of the organizations are handling with the pre-litigation stage mediation, but in court and ex mediation, we are dealing with the at dispute state. So if we could be able to handle that time also conflict, then it will not convert into a situation of war. Clear? Eh? Am I clear? Am I audible? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am, you are clear.
So all are happy now? You are understanding the conflict? Then we will learn
Yes,
how
yes.
to resolve this conflict.
Perfect understanding.
Okay. Causes of conflict escalation. What are the causes of conflict escalation? Conflict escalate. This is, we understood that conflict escalate. Why? Uncertainty and commitment. As conflict escalate, doubt, uncertainties, and flexibility get replaced by firm commitment. Their position, people rationalize their choices. Once they have made them, they seek out and that support their views, reject information that reject their views, and become more their original position. So uncertainty and commitment, they are committed for their own thought process. So therefore it is increasing. Intensity increases more. They realize the shortcomings of their view, but they defend those views and argue against their opponent just to save face. I am right, he's wrong. Right? Uncertainty and commitment. My commitment with my thought process, with my views, I am right, he's wrong. Perception, misperception. Perception is very important. Again, I would say drashtikon. What is my attitude? It's nothing but how to handle a thing. My perception, misperception. Individuals' reaction to the conflict are shaped by their perception of the situation. People who are part of the situation during the conflict, opponents' idea about strength, attitude, value over personal qualities tend to get largely distorted. Their perception, misperception. But at this stage, they are just supporting their ideas only. Whatever my idea is the right idea. Whatever I'm thinking about situation, that is right. Misattribution. During the conflict, people understand and explain their opponent actions such that the problem worse. This is his personal attitude who is creating the problem. Misattribution. rather than situation, because they are not considering the situation. What type of situation they are not considering? They are considering this is her disposition, the personal reaction of the opponent. Misperceiving motivation. During the conflict, opponent usually become mistrustful of one another. Obvious. Misperceiving motivation. The word cooperative motivation have been replaced by competitive one. The parties are ready to compete with each other. I'm right, he's wrong. This is the very genesis of competitive style. I will win, he will lose. The loss of trust make it return to cooperative relationship. People with competitive social value orientation stand most inaccurate in their perception of opponent motivation. They are hardly bothered about the opponent motivation. They are fixed upon their own choices, their own thinking pattern, their own interest. Only for their interest they are focusing. The core is their own self-interest. Soft tactics, hard tactics. Parties are soft tactics at the outset of the conflict, but as it escalates, tactics shift to the harder side. The moment it is increasing, difference to disagreement to difference of opinion to problem and then to conflict, the soft tactics will become the hard tactics. Then they will hardcore negotiator. They will become hardcore negotiator because they are focused on their interest only. Irritation and anger. Obviously, once they are in the state of conflict, parties are in irritation and anger state. Am I clear? They are in the state of anger and irritation. So always be positive once you are dealing with the parties in mediation or handling with a conflict as a conflict resolver. Be positive and be calm and comfortable and be humble as well. So till here it is clear. Now I'm moving to the dimension of conflict. The conflict core, the sense of threat that drives conflict, the conflict spiral, how conflict escalate, the conflict triangle, three aspects of conflict mediation process address, that is people, process, problem and process. Right? So one by one we will handle this. See, this is the conflict core. Conflict emerges when something important threatens and creates initial tension. And what is the initial tension? What is the initial tension? Can anyone? What is my initial tension? Conflict emerges when something important threatens and creates initial tensions. That is the core, and that is the human dignity. And my cognition always rotate around my human dignity, around my own dignity. Because I have cognition, I have a cognitive barrier in my mind pertaining to my physical safety, pertaining to my psychological needs, pertaining to my financial security, pertaining to my social status, my personal reputation, professional worth, national pride, community concern, and religious faith. It emerges because of any of these factors. I'm having a cognition, I'm having a particular viewpoint that is not there. Somewhere it is not in safety. Therefore, I'm in the state of a conflict. So conflict emerges, and then first is my personal response to that particular thing. When I am not, I'm feeling insecure pertaining to all these factors which are here. Then it will go beyond my control. Then it will move in the community. Then the community response with pertaining to that particular factor will enhance it. Then once it will move from community responses, then the party will move to the for legal advice. After having the legal advice, this conflict, which was having these 5-7 factors, having some confusion pertaining to these 5-7 factors, will convert into a dispute. So how this spiral is moving? These factors which are just challenging the human dignity, and if I am having any kind
Excuse
of
me, ma'am. 1 second.
please.
Yes, ma'am. Would you please maximize the screen, the
Okay.
full screen? Please
Yes,
go to full
I'm
screen. Yes.
now it is.
Now the text are visible.
That time it was not visible.
Just a little bit small. That's why.
So I have to go back, Thangchenji.
No.
So how many will agree with this? If Thangchenji will suggest me, Thangchenji will suggest me to go back, ma'am, and start from first slide. Then how many will agree with this? No one. So it may cause a conflict if we are having any kind of a small disagreement, isn't it? Anyway, Sanjini, thank you so much. I'm full screen.
Yes.
Yes. So human dignity, first, I mean, these factors, so many factors are involved. I won't say this is confined with these factors only. So many factors are involved. A small thing, big thing, small ideas, their individual safety, their monetary aspect, their, social security, all these things. Then every individual is having his own cognition pertaining to the particular factor involved in his life. Then he approached to a community, community in around, like parents, like friends, like neighborhood. We will discuss these things, because this is very first step. You just feel comfortable in discussing with your, if you are having any problem in your office, you will first discuss with your partner, I mean your husband or wife, and then you will discuss with your parents, and then you will discuss with your friends, and then you will discuss your neighborhood. So like this, you are getting the community response. First is your response, then to the community response. Then once the community will give the positive or negative, whatever, then you will approach to the legal advice, I mean lawyer. And once you are taking the legal advice, obviously he will decide and set you to court. Okay, now this is the right reason to approach to the court, because you will get something justice from the court only. So then your conflict is becoming, this spiral will go and move on, and then will convert into a dispute. So handle 3 P's for the 4th P, that is peace. Handle the people, handle the process, handle the problem. Understand the problem, help the people, and control the process. So people, once you are dealing with the people, what you have to see, what you have to do, you have to discuss with them. See, many of the matter parties say, किसी ने हमें सुन तो लिया, that give entire satisfaction to the party. If you are taking so much of care of their words, you are sitting with them and you're sharing their pain. I always say mediation is nothing but the sharing of pain, and no need of any training in mediation. If you are humble enough and you can understand the problem of the parties, you can appreciate them, and you can just you can just handle their conflict, and you can facilitate them. Then no need of any training. I'm telling you, you have to give the patience listening to them. Past history, they will share with you the past history. Kya hua tha, kab hua tha, kaise hua tha. Those past history. Values, meaning everyone has its own values, because we are from different state, we are from different state, we are from different family background, we are having different perception. Every human being is a unique personality. Our relationship, how I consider my relation with anyone, this is all sole my property. How I will decide the other one's personality. So this is my sole person, because this is my mind work, and that give me the spark, that give me the impetus. What should I think about this person? So my relationship with the person, emotions, my emotion, ego, pride, vengeance, personal animosity, any kind of emotion, fear of losing face. मैं इसे ले तो जाऊंगा, लोग क्या कहेंगे, समाज क्या कहेगा. Fear of losing face. We are worried about the society. Behavior. Everyone has different type of behavior. Some are positive, some are negative. Some will say, no, I don't want to discuss anything. Other will say, please listen to me. 2 minutes, just I want 2 minutes. So this all depend upon the person to person, vary from person to person. Abilities. Everyone has different ability. If a person having very high profile family, persons are not having that understanding pertaining to their conflict, and a low state of person are having very clear thought process. So this will also vary from person to person. So we are dealing with the people, we are dealing with the personalities. Everyone has different personality. So all these things, once we are dealing with the people, we are dealing all these things. So now, what process we are handling? The above all, no process required, simply communication. So a mediator, a dispute resolver should be a good communicator, and then you are a good facilitator. If you can communicate well, not only communication doesn't mean you are speaking like me, I'm speaking. So that time I have this, I have to deliberate on this topic, so I'm speaking. But once I'm in a mediation, I have to gather the information from the parties. Therefore, I'm just promoting them to communicate, and establishing myself as a friend. They will think, yes, this is the right approach. This is the right time to discuss these things with this third person, third neutral person, structure, system, and procedure. What procedure we are adopting? And for mediation, I always say it's not at all a procedure, it's a process. It's a simple process. And what is that process? Problem and solution. The problem of the party, solution with the party. Problem of the party, by the party, of the party, and solution with the party, for the party, and of the party. So this is self-determination of the parties. We are simply a facilitator. Decision making of the parties. We are giving roles and jobs to the parties by using a technique that is brainstorming. Think about this conflict. Think about this. Once we are parties are sharing their problem, we are dividing their problem into a small segment, and we are discussing with the party one by one about those segments. And then we are taking their views about that particular segment. Therefore, in a process, we are sharing their thought process. We are just promoting them to think about this thing. These are your agenda, and you can settle your agenda in your own way, because this is your problem, because this is your difference of opinion, because this is your disagreement. We are working for conflict. And problem having facts, position, issues. See, once I see, it's like an iceberg, 1/10 part above the water surface. So the water surface, above the water surface, is covering only the facts and position, and maximum is the issues. Remaining, we have to cover their perception, their interpretation, their needs, their solution. Everything is below the water surface. That is that 9/10 part we have to cover. Am I clear? Am I clear? So handle the pupil. Handle the pupil softly. Handle the process very firmly, and deal with the problem. How to deal with the problem? How to resolve this problem? Support the people. Control the process. Solve the problem. Separate the people from the problem. Don't say, "Kya keh rahe ho? Ye aapke kaise ho sakta hai?" No, you are wrong. We are not saying. Despite knowing this fact, the person is wrong. Is wrong in his interpretation. Even though we are not saying you are wrong. Why? Why? Why we are not saying you are wrong?
For more conflict.
Yes, it will cause more conflict. It will cause more conflict, because that time he is so charged negatively with anger, with irritation, that we will say you are wrong. See, if you are a daughter-in-law, you have to serve your parents-in-laws. Why you are not doing? So we are not doing to preach them. Nobody is ready to listen to the preachings. Am I right? Are you ready to listen to the preachings?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Because everyone has its own unique personality. We are having our different thought process, and we are correct in our views. So separate the people from the problem, handle the people softly, and be hard on the problem. And you could be able to facilitate them to resolve the problem once you are listening carefully. Gather the information from the party, divide the problem into segment, and then to deal. And see, for mediation, I always say it's like a unique equation. The problem is like equation. And when we solve an equation in mathematics, we use one formula, that is BODMAS. Remember, we use a formula, a BODMAS. A complicated equation we are simplifying by using this formula, which says, bracket open, divide the problem, multiply the option, add something which is beyond the eyes of the party, and then to separate the parties from legal system. They can enjoy their life. So we are working for peace, right? Handle these three P's to bring the fourth P, that is peace, in the life of the parties. So a simple, till here, all clear? Till here is all clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
In the mind or out of mind?
In the mind, ma'am.
In the mind. Thank you so much. So a little bit about your data type of analysis. The information, what are the causes of the conflict? Lack of information, misinformation, different interpretation. And what is the strategy? Agree on what data are important, agrees on process to correct, agree on considering all the, it's not visible to me, right? Interest and expectation, goal, need, and perception. There should focus from position to interest. For mediation, what we are doing, we are changing their position to interest. They are focusing on their position. I am also son. This is my father's house. I want my share in the house. Poor brother fighting for a small house. I am also entitled for the house. Position. They are fighting for their position. And this because of the conflict. right? So we are resolving new innovative ideas we can generate with the parties. We can facilitate them to come up with new ideas, expand options. As I said, once we are using the board mass, generate the option. How to facilitate the parties so that they can come up with different option. They can have floor-wise division. They can have the sale consideration. They can sell out the property and can divide the sale consideration among them. But if the matter will go to the court will decide their right over the property. Right? Find creative solution, something new, something innovative, something beyond the eyes of the party. Clarify perception, why they are thinking so. What is the reason of their perception? So we are hitting the conflict between the parties. Relationship. See, the beauty of mediation is that we are restoring the relationship between the parties. Poor communication, strained relationship. Repeated negative behavior, strained relationship. Misconception, stereotype, distrust. History of conflict. Continuous history of conflict. Father and son fighting on something. The son is asking for a bike and father is not interested. Why? Because father is worried about the security of the son. Whereas son is, because he's suffering a lot, school is 20 kilometers away, he has to get bus and then to metro, then to reach to his school. He's asking for motorcycle and father is not interested just because of safety purpose. So nobody is there to just, to teach them what is important for son and what is important for father, from which angle father is observing the situation and from which angle the son is observing the situation. So establish good ground rules, clarify misconception, improve communication, agree on process, and keep your words. Focus on improving future, dissent the past. So when parties are coming to us, they are discussing about their past, and we are just facilitating them to see for future what best life you can have after having the resolution of this dispute. How you can resolve this dispute, how you can make your future better. Structural conflict, sometimes the conflict is touched by the parties. Resources, limited resources are there. Power fight, time constraint, they are not ready to resolve it. Reallocate ownership, establish fair, mutually acceptable decision-making process, clarify, define, change roles. So these are the causes and these are the strategy. What strategy we are adopting in mediation to resolve such type of causes which are creating the conflict. Values, different criteria for evaluating ideas, different ways of life, ideology. Again, I will repeat it again. We are having the different personality, we are having different ideas, we are having our different ideology as well. So we are working for the same because that is our cognition. And that cognition is creating the cognitive barrier once the parties are participating in negotiation. Correct? So that cognition we have to break, and that is not that easy to break the cognition of the parties. Conflict de-escalation at management. De-escalation, once it's going escalating, difference of information, disagreement, then problem, then how to reduce it. Then discussing. Conflict de-escalating is conceptualized as the method and process involved in facilitating peaceful ending of the conflict. How to end the conflict, and for that, what process we should acquire so that conflict could be resolved easily. Cognitive resolution is the way disputants understand and view the conflict with belief, understanding, and attitude. What is their attitude about their cognition? Emotional resolution is a way where disputants feel about the conflict resolution by using emotional energy. See, we are dealing with the emotions. And sometimes emotion facilitate us in resolving the dispute, and sometimes these are the biggest barrier in resolving the dispute. Emotions of any kind. Animosity. I want he should be punished. He misbehaved with me. I want he should be punished. No, I won't settle. Send it to court. I'm not interested to settle it. A wide range of method and procedure for addressing conflict exists, including negotiation, mediation, arbitration, diplomacy, and creative peace building. So these are the different, I won't say it's process, this is all in mediation. We always say it's a process because we are dealing with all flexibility. We are welcoming party. We are giving them chance to understand their conflict and to resolve their conflict. So this is how we are de-escalating the conflict by managing it in a way we are understanding their problem, We are sharing their problem with them, and then we are trying to facilitate them to generate the option so that problem can be resolved. Got it? Clear है सबको? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
The conflict management. And last, how to manage the conflict. So these are 5 styles for conflict resolution, given with this graph given by Thomas Kilman. Very beautifully, he examined and he found these are the 5 styles how parties resolve their dispute. The very first style is the avoidance. If you will see this graph, the lower is going cooperation with others. The horizontal side is going for confrontation, and that too self-concern or assertiveness. Clear? This is a graph. Graph is lower is the cooperation with others and upside self-concern. So the very 0 point, it's an avoidance. What if parties will avoid to deal with the conflict? Yes, please. Yes, anyone? Now I think it's clear. The conflict is clear or not? Conflict is clear or not?
Ma'am, repeat the question, please.
The question is, if parties are avoiding, the first step is the avoidance. If parties are not dealing with the conflict, whether conflict will resolve? Whether conflict will resolve if parties are not handling with the conflict?
No, ma'am. it
No,
won't.
it won't resolve. It won't resolve.
Very nice. Beautiful. If you are handling the conflict, you can resolve it. If you are avoiding the conflict, you are increasing the intensity of the conflict. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not dealing with the conflict, you cannot resolve the conflict. So you are not dealing means you are avoiding. You are avoiding. Kidney, I don't want to settle. I won't settle with her. Please send my file back to the court. We cannot settle it. There may be a number of reasons, but that time they are not dealing with the conflict. Therefore, avoidance to deal with the conflict or avoidance to handle the conflict may cause the intensity of conflict may increase in future. It will give more intensity. The root will more bigger if you are not dealing with the conflict. I will give you an example one by one. Accommodation. Yes, accommodation. Can accommodation style resolve the conflict? I am wrong, you are right. Can it be a situation?
That situation won't resolve the conflict.
Sorry?
Such a situation won't resolve the conflict, ma'am.
Is it possible?
I am right, you are wrong. Please, much more possible. Always.
I am right, you are wrong. But reverse is possible. I am wrong, you are right.
Yes, yes.
This is also possible?
Yes, with more understanding.
Okay.
Understanding with the opposite side, then we can accept our.
But our graph says ki in both the situation, the conflict resolution style is at 0 level. Can you see the graph? Lower side in both the situation. Why? Because first situation say nothing, lose position. The second one say you win, I lose. Conflict will remain as such because not dealing with the conflict, rather running away from the conflict. Okay, let him win. I will lose. The conflict will remain as such because it's a 0 graph. On the graph, it's at 0 level. Then the second is the competition. The competition, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Everything mine. My way or highway. My right, my position, my claim, my prayer, everything mine. Competitive. Whether conflict will resolve at this stage?
No, ma'am.
No.
It's high.
My way or highway. I win, you lose. Accommodation say you win, I lose. Avoidance say both lose. We are not going to deal with the conflict, right? Then to third is compromise. Something you lose, something I lose, something you win, something I win. Compromise. Give up something, take up something. Compromise. A little bit conflict will resolve. In friendly manner, we can say, like in judicial settlement, we are giving something. Okay, resolve the dispute, settle the dispute. That is it. We can say dispute they are handling and they are just forgetting about the conflict. You could resolve the dispute. The compromising is also not giving the 100% satisfaction to both the parties. Now come to the collaboration. The 100% satisfaction to both the parties when they will collaborate about their right, about their interest, about their position, about their claim. I to we, me to ours. Our satisfaction, our self-determination, our decision, we will definitely execute it. Correct? A silly example like wife says, today is a function at my mother's place. I want to go there. Avoidance style. Husband is not listening even. He's going to office because he's having very urgent training today. And he has to attend that after he will get a promotion in the office. He's not taking care of what she's always a function in the family. So I hardly bother. He's not taking care of her words. Today is a function in the mother families. Accommodation style. So avoidance, the conflict will remain here. The small thing, the difference of opinion, the small disagreement, and then to avoidance with this disagreement. Because there is no disagreement. I am husband, I am going to attend my training. That training is very important. After that, I will be having a good promotion scope. So therefore, she always, that type of program is going on in her family. I am not concerned. So avoiding. Accommodation. The husband says, okay, forget about the training. I am coming with you. The conflict will remain in mind. What? There's always a function. She's hardly bothered about my promotion or my career opportunities. I'm going with her because she will win, he will lose. She is going with her. Now come to competition. The husband is saying, not only I'm not going with you, always function at your place. I don't have time. I can't waste my time. I have to attend my training and blah, blah, blah. Competition. Not only he is putting his hand up, I win, you lose, and giving some abusing language, also some, negative word also to the wife. So therefore, she's frustrated also. Competition, my way or highway. Conflict will remain as such. Then compromise. Husband says, okay, what I will do, I will attend training till lunch, then I will come, we will go to your place. So 50-50. Okay, I will leave something, you will also 50-50. And now the collaborative style. Husband will say, okay, see, I have very important this training program. After that, I will become DM of my company. And it will better if we will go in the evening and we will stay at your mother place. And then in morning, I will go to office and you will come back to the office. So this is the collaborative approach, Avoidance, once you are not listening, you are hardly bothered about the demand and desire of the other person. Accommodating, when you have forgotten about your own importance, you are just giving up. Okay, jo tumko pasand wahi baat karenge, I am losing, you win. Competition, my way or highway. Whatever I am saying is correct, my interest is prime. Then compromise, okay, leave something you and I will also leave something. Then we will have the compromise state, we will deal with this conflict. But in all those four condition, in all those four strategies or style of conflict resolution, something is missing. That means we are not addressing conflict 100%. Where we are handling the conflict 100%, that is a collaborative style, when we are dealing all the problem together and we are resolving in a way that both will be benefited 100%. Correct? Got it? So avoidance style, when the parties will enter our room, no, sir, no, ma'am, we don't want to settle. Please send it back. We cannot settle. No, we will not settle. There's no dispute between us. No, yeah, unnecessarily she has filed. I know she will withdraw the matter. Please send it back. Accommodation. In one of my matter, it was a partition suit filed by a brother against another brother. And see, they were fighting like anything. I said, whose house? Ki this mother house. So where is mother? Ki mother undergone some eye surgery. Mane call your mother as. And this brother who filed this partition suit, he said, I filed one recovery suit also, that is of rupees 12 lakh against this brother, because he has taken out my utensils. Manika, utensils of 12 lakh, he has all silver utensils, all silver dinner sets. I said, okay. They were fighting like anything. Then on next day, mother came and she started. I said, Maji, please tell me something about, are you aware about this problem between your two sons? Yes, beta, I know, but what to do? This is like this. And she started crying. And she was crying. Then this son, I mean, this plaintiff started saying, ma'am, I don't want anything. Please let it be. I don't want anything. I said, no, please tell me. No, ma'am, I don't want anything. This is a curse for me if the mother is crying for me. I don't want anything. Then I prepare him, no, please tell me. No, ma'am, I don't want anything. Now he started accommodating like 100%. Whatever he wants, give it to him. I'm not interested at all, because this is a biggest thing. If my mother is crying for me and she is so upset about this matter and about our relationship, I don't want it. So accommodation style has started. But I didn't settle that matter then and there. I gave 5 adjournment to this matter. And then his lawyer also came. He said, ma'am, now he doesn't want anything. What to do? I said, what to do? He's saying like this, if in any case you will not draft the settlement, I will withdraw it, because this is my suit. So I can withdraw it. Then I drafted that settlement. So sometimes parties will change their mindset because of emotions as well. So in mediation, we are dealing with the emotions. We are dealing with the emotion. In competition style, labor management matter, we will see him to the Supreme Court. No problem. One side is management. Suppose one side is Reliance, other side a poor workman, Ramlal. There's no power balancing. One is so, a company, big company, they are having the panel of lawyers, and one is poor guy, competitive. We won't give anything to him. We have no offer for him. 5,000 if you want, we can pay. And he's claiming 1 lakh rupee. No, 5,000. Competition is done. My way or highway. If he is interested, take 5,000. Otherwise, we are not interested. We will see him until Supreme Court. Competition, pride. And then to collaboration style. When both the parties sit together, share their problem, sometimes they will say, okay, this was the only problem. We can resolve it even out of court. So such type of situation may occur if you are facilitating them properly. So is that clear? Conflict resolution style. Avoidance, when parties are not dealing with the conflict. Accommodation, when the parties are in lose and win and lose position. Okay, I will lose, you will win. They are going, one party is supporting the ideas of the other party. That is accommodative style. Competition, one party is high on his interest and position and values. Then competitive style, my way or highway. Then compromise, give it something. I will also give up something. Then the collaborative style, which is 100%. All their right, claim, position, prayer, all satisfied once they will work together. So a little bit, how much time is left? Can I have 5 more minutes? Can I have 5 more minutes, Shubham?
Please, ma'am. Please.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
So avoiding, we learn about the avoiding. This technique consists of not addressing the conflict, postponing it, or simply withdrawing it, also known as avoiding. This outcome is suitable when the issue is trivial and not worth the effort, or when more important issues are pressing and one or both the parties do not have time to deal with it. Withdrawing may also be a strategic response when it is not the right time or place to confront the issues, when more time is needed to think and collect information before acting, or when not responding may still bring some winning for at least some of the involved parties. Moreover, withdrawing may be also employed when someone knows that the other party is engaged with hostility and does not want to invest further unreasonable efforts. Travel issues involved. Withdrawing may give the possibility to see things from a different perspective while gaining time and collecting further information. So even if the parties are avoiding stage, they are not ready to settle in mediation. We are saying, thank you very much. Today may be not the very fortunate day, but next time will be the best time. then also we are appreciating them, because all positivity, once you are positive, we will give impose the positivity. So we are giving all the positivity. This is their matter. They may or may decide today. They may not decide today. Maybe taking time to think it over, right? They're taking time to understand their problem, their position, their differences. But they will not resolving the conflict on that day. The competitive conflict style maximize individual assertiveness, concern for while minimizing empathy, concern for others. Group consisting of competitive members generally enjoy seeking domination over others. Dominate the power, dominate upon the other. I want this, I want that, domination. My right, my claim, my position, my interest, everything mine. Okay, na? And everyone is a good negotiator, and everyone work for his own interest. So these are called the hardcore negotiator. Once these type of person will come, they will become the hardcore negotiator. It is difficult to break them. Compromising and a win-win solution. In this outcome, the conflict parties find a mutually acceptable solution that partially satisfies both parties. Like in 138 matter, even if the check amount is 5 lakh, parties are ready to settle it in 450 lakh, 4,50,000. Why? Because okay, let it be at least 5 years. My further litigation will be over, and then I will be satisfied. Okay, I will get this amount today itself or within a defined period. So both the parties are giving up something and they are ready to resolve. This can occur as both parties converse with one another, and seek to understand the other's point of view. Compromising may be an optimal solution when the goals are moderately important and not worth the use of more assertive or more involving approaches. It may be useful when reaching a temporary settlement on complex issues and as a first step when the involved parties do not know each other well or have not yet developed a high level of mutual trust. They are not having the high level of mutual trust because they're hardly knowing each other, a little bit knowing each other. That time they are doing this compromising style of dispute resolution. If this method is not well managed and the factor time becomes the most important one, the situation may result in both the parties being not satisfied with the outcome. If not managed, then somebody's suppose a check of rupees 5 lakh, the other says, no, I can pay only 2 lakh. Okay? So if this method is not well managed and the factor time becomes the most important one, you could after some time you will come up with some more option. You will settle in 2.50 or 3 lakh that give the satisfaction to the other party. So compromising style. Accommodative style. The other person always in the benefit of for the benefit of the other person. Accommodative is attempting to fulfill the concern of other rather than one concern. I remember one very beautiful matter in this regard. I just wanted to share with all of you. This was a matter mother filed a maintenance claim against the son, and when the matter was called, that guy was coming with his mother. In a way, she was escorting his mother, and she offered a seat. And when she sat down, then he was sitting quietly. I said, yes, please. So she said, ma'am, I want maintenance. From whom you want maintenance? I want my maintenance from my son. Who's your son? He's my son. I said, okay, what do you want? I want 5,000 rupees monthly maintenance. I said, yes, please. You are so and so, because he was the respondent, but they both were sitting on one side. He said, yes, ma'am, I am so and so. So she's asking 5,000 rupees. He said, okay, ma'am, I will pay. Then she said, I want 2,000 rupees for my taxi, because I am going to Brahmakumari Ashram twice in a month. So I want 2,000 every time for my taxi. He said, okay, ma'am, 4,000, pay it. Then she said, 1,000 is my medical expense. He said, okay, ma'am, give it to her. Then she said 600 rupees for my this cable charges. He said, okay, ma'am, give it to him. Then this was the time for me I simply asked, I had single session with this son, and I asked, Mr. So-and-so, you are such a wonderful son. You are ready for any demand. You are ready to satisfy each and every demand of your mother. And why don't you keep up with your son? He said, ma'am, this is not the problem between me and mother. She is having the problem with my father. Father and mother are having the matrimonial problem, and this is a kind of settlement. 6 months he will stay with me, and 6 months she will stay with me. And she is having this also one of the problem. Whenever I will stay separately, then I will claim my maintenance through court only. So see, where was the conflict and where was the dispute and what type of accommodation. So if I will not handle that conflict between mother and father, then what this accommodated style of conflict resolution? Because there was no conflict between mother and son. This was the conflict between husband and wife. So accommodative style. And it's just to create a humor. If you are, because young chaps, you must be knowing about Greenland and Canada. There was an island, Hans Island, you know. Shubham, have you aware about this? Recently, I came to know about this. When Danish military, this is a one island in between Canada and this Denmark, and this unclaimed, but both the countries are claiming this island. So when Danish military go there, they leave a bottle of snap and signs saying, "Welcome to Denmark." When Canadian military forces come there, they leave a bottle of Canadian sign saying, "Welcome to Canada." Currently, a plan is in the work that could turn Hans Island into a shared territory that could be managed by the Canadian and Danish municipalities body. So beautifully they are handling this thing. So this is what the beautiful collaborative approach by both the parties. You can better enjoy our all the nature asset if we will work together. And similarly, I always think about the India and Pakistan. Why we can't sit together and can resolve our issues on each and every. One day India will become the most strongest country, you know, if we will work together like this. So collaborating style, when both the parties are working together, they are handling their conflict, they are resolving their conflict, and they are for the benefit of both the party, and the situation is win-win situation. They are win-win position. They are acquiring because they are satisfying need, demand, desire of both of them. Correct? Got it? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so like this, is a small chart. Competing, I value the point being made more than our relationship. It is them or me. I have got win this one. I'm sure they will see it my way. If they just think about it, I know I am right. This is I win, you lose position. Like a shark. Avoiding, I will be quiet and listen. It is not that big a deal. I would rather just forget it. Avoiding. Once you are avoiding it, it's not worth the trouble. What difference could I make anyway? I lose, you lose. Not for the benefit of anyone. Accommodating, I value our relationship more than this point. Let's just get this over with so we can get on the other thing. Collaborating, I'm sure if we work together, we can come up with a better answer. Collaborating and compromise, yes, a little bit you will win and a little bit I will win. But anyway, win-win position, but 50-50%, not 100% satisfaction. And it's a beautiful video. I just wanted to share with all of you. This is a see how they are dealing with the conflict.
No audio. Excuse me, ma'am.
Anuja, ma'am.
Yes, please.
The students are asking this video has an audio also or no?
The audio is not.
No, ma'am. Audio is not coming.
This is only music type. Can you
Okay.
hear this music?
No.
No, ma'am.
Music is also not there.
Yes.
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, you can just, what I just wanted to convey, you can well observe through this video, even if music is not there, simply rhythmic only.
There are two buttons in the bottom of the screen that we have to select two buttons. Now we cannot do it, ma'am. Again, you have to, then we can leave it now, but
Okay.
we cannot do it now. We have to repeat it again. We can. No, it's enough. We can understand
Okay.
the video.
I will try, but it is almost over.
There are two buttons in the left side of the screen, lower left side of the screen. We have to select the two buttons. Then only we will get the audio and audio.
Okay. I will try. Now audible?
Not audible. Not audible, ma'am. Because first of all, you have to stop the screen share and again go for screen sharing. Then only,
Okay.
then only we can.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Now it is audible?
Yes, yes.
You want full screen? So thank you very much for giving me patience listening. I
Thank you,
think
ma'am.
conflict is clear. There's no conflict between us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
I can see a question in the chat box. Do you want me to address that?
I will answer, Sita. Yes, you start, please, because I'm. Yes, Shubham, please.
Mr. Akhand Shukla is asking, if somebody doesn't want to mediate with you, then what do we do next?
Just give them all positive thanks, okay? Next time will be the best time. First, you have to just facilitate them. You have to request them. Please sit, have a time, spend 2 minutes with me. maybe we can discuss something else, because sometimes parties are not having the mindset even to go and resolve the dispute. That time also we have to facilitate them to, yes, this is the right approach and this is the right forum where you can resolve your dispute, right? So we not only have to facilitate them to resolve the dispute, we have to prepare them as well to come and resolve the dispute. So first you do your best to convince them mediation is the right approach. You can resolve your dispute. If they are not agreeing, then say, okay, today is not that fortunate day. Thank you very much. Next time will be the best time. Like that way, you can just give the all positive note to the party, and then you can say goodbye to them. Okay, next time we will see you again. Sometimes we are saying even like, okay, you see, again you have to come in mediation because you have to settle it today or day after tomorrow or after 6 months. So why not today itself? Because if the nature of the matters like that, you civil and matrimonial, we know this matter will resolve in mediation only. So that time we are preparing them in that way.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Afan Shukla again asks, can we put the world in one thread of mediation? Is it possible?
Sorry, I'm not getting. Can we say one word?
He's asking, can we put the world in one thread of mediation? Is it possible with?
One word in mediation. No, I'm not clear about the question again.
Ma'am.
Ma'am,
Can you repeat who
ma'am,
has
it
asked the
says-
question?
Ma'am,
Good
it
evening,
says, can we put the word in one thread of mediation? Is it possible? One thread of mediation. Can we weave them together in one chain?
One thread in mediation. Okay. Yes, definitely you have to that only because, you are facilitating them, you are restoring the relationship. Above all, the beauty of mediation, how to restore the relationship. How to restore the relationship between the parties. Even in labor management matter, I'm telling you, the parties in last, they will settle and then they will say, thank you very much. They will enjoy a cup of tea together. So I always say mediation will become meditation when both the party will enjoy a cup of tea together. So we can just thread them in one, in that way only, right?
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I can see no more questions now, but if anybody has any question, you can email me. I'll forward it to ma'am. So now
Anytime you can ask.
Now I would ask Sachin Jain sir to extend vote of thanks to our guest and me. Over to you.
Thank you, Shubham. Thank you, Shubham. I, on behalf of EMW, convey my sincere gratitude and heartfelt thank you to Madam Anuja for taking these younger generation people to understand what is conflict. Then what is the management in conflict? What style people adopt in a conflict? So that has been a wonderful 1 hour, 35-minute session. I hope everyone who has attended this lecture, it's basically, I don't call it a lecture, it's just an interaction. Because mediation simply says, be simple, be straight. So getting into this, though we call it a classroom, but I must say that this is something which is very interactive. Yes, we have some certain issues with regard to virtual modes. But if we take this on a physical mode, then I hope you people will find it really, really more interesting and more charming when you can really get in touch with ma'am. I can understand there must be questions in your mind, but you can't ask the questions. And even ma'am is very used to getting questions, and she may be thinking the people must have something in their mind they want to ask, but what can we do? But anyhow, day is not far when we can have physical lectures also. We'll certainly want to join everyone to join physical lecture. Ma'am, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much,
Sachin, for nice words, and thank you so much all the participants for your patience listening, and all the very best for your future. And I think the future of justice delivery system in India is in a safe hand. All of you are so focused on all these subjects, how to deal with the problem of the parties. This is not only adversarial system we are having now in India, we are having adversarial as well as financial system, and you are understanding at very early stage. I'm in very young stage, so I'm really happy. Thank you so much. Thank you, Push.
Ma'am.
Thank you, Kanchanji.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
ma'am.
so
Thank you
much,
for your
ma'am.
blessing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so
dear
much,
students.
Push, ma'am.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you,
Thank you,
Shubham.
Sachin.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge Halim. We have
And
Mr.
thank
Judge
you,
Halim.
Shubham.
And God bless to all the young people.
Yes.
Maybe
Thank
we'll
you.
find
Thank you all.
each other someday and sit together for a cup of tea and coffee, and then we can discuss mediation as well.
And next class is
Sachin,
going to
our
be,
Halim sir from Bangladesh has been joined
yes,
with our
he is
program.
there with us. But Halim sir, good evening.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening. Nice to meet you all. A long time.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much. I'm now okay. Yes.
How are
1 month ago
you?
I had some problems, right? Okay, now I'm okay, and I'm very happy to be with you. Always with you.
All good
you.
here, sir. Please take care.
Yes, thank you very much.
So
Thank you
dear
all.
students, we'll meet next Saturday. The class is going to be very important. Again, like we'll be commencing on mediation. What mediation is, what are its dimensions. So please take care. Be there on the next Saturday for this class on mediation. Thank you, Sachin.
Okay, thank
you,
you.
ma'am. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Dhankanchan sir. Bye-bye. Bye, dear.
So with your permission, let me
Please.
end the session.
Thank you, Dhankanchan
Yes,
sir.
certainly,
Thank
sir,
you.
certainly.
Thank you. Thank you, Anuja ma'am. Once again, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.